two kids.
You had me to it.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Bond.
This meeting's so
James Bond.
There's no place like home.
I'm gonna make him an offer again with you.
I love how in the thumbnail that I did for the PGA predictions, I had House of Gucci, I had No Time to Die, and I had Spider-Man No Way Home, thinking one of those three would make it into PGA. None of them did. So I guess the thumbnail is a lie.
Well, you didn't have any golfers in there, did you?
Nope, no, I didn't have Phil Mickelson or Tiger Woods in there. So that would have been that was a missed opportunity. Oh, that would have been a funny meme, like PGA mixed with Phil Mickelson or Tiger Woods.
No, yeah. There's some behind the scenes stories behind that whole PGA thing. But that's why I mentioned the golfer folks watching.
Hey, love me some golf. And quickly, I almost forgot. I've forgotten to do this for the past 2 episodes, but cue the music. I forgot to do that the past little bit, so I decided, you know what, now is the time to do it. So, disclaimer. Yes, we started later because Manning had a long day of work today. Right now in Winston-Salem, for those of you who are in the North Carolina area, there is a fertilizer fire that, and we all know fires aren't great, but it's a fertilizer fire. So we all know that the noxious gas that it can emit is not great, as well as the fact that it could blow up. Like, you guys remember Beirut recently, the explosion that happened in Beirut?
Yeah.
Think of like that. It's not as many tons, but it could go off like that. So we're kind of monitoring. So it was an all hands on deck affair today at work. So I'm very tired, but I wanted to make sure we got something out today, even if I push through it. So I am having assistance today with Dan and Malcolm, who will be taking over specific segments as a disclaimer, while I kind of sit back, relax, and answer questions that they may pose for me as we play co-host. We're all co-hosts today. I'm gone with the win.
And
so
not getting off topic,
Please.
not movies, but I live in Florida, and where I live was on fire 20 years ago. Literally every main thoroughfare.
Orlando?
I live north of Orlando, west of Daytona Beach. In Volusia County, the county that I live in, the entire county was on fire. I mean, picture just an entire county.
What happened?
It was so dry and so hot. We usually get rain every day in the afternoon in Florida. Well, that spring, we didn't get any rain, and it just completely was dry for like a month and a half to 2. And cigarette butts, boom, there you go. And brush fires. So every main thoroughfare, north, south, east, west, was on fire in Volusia County. So I know what you're talking about when it comes to fires. I mean, we had hundreds and hundreds of firefighters from Utah, California, Colorado.
Utah, wow.
Came to Florida to help fight the fire. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and I don't wish it on anybody.
No, it's not fun. Thankfully, no one has died or gotten hurt. It's been contained to the actual fertilizer plant. The problem is we just don't want the fertilizer to spontaneously combust. So that's the big problem. Yeah. Malcolm, have you ever had fire in New Zealand? I don't know what New Zealand's climate is. I feel like it's everything I see in Lord of the Rings.
I mean, I think there has been some big bushfires and stuff as well. But I mean, not a lot. That mostly happens just across the sea in Australia.
They're famous for that, I feel like.
The entire continent was on fire last year or the year before, right?
Yeah. No, it was 2020 because I remember that happened right before COVID, right? I believe. Yeah,
it was just crazy. Like the entire continent of Australia was on fire.
Jeez Louise. There was like pictures of baby koalas or something without like trying to find their way. And my heart was like, this is the worst thing ever. No, baby.
Let's segue into movies. We're going to be on
fire.
Yes,
you're right.
Talking awards. We're going to be on fire talking about these awards.
Yes. Yes. But quickly, though, I must ask, because we always ask, Dan, what have you watched this week?
Well, I saw a lot of slam dance films. and some. I talked about it on Saturday. Some Sundance films. Oh, I'm in the middle of watching In From the Cold, the show on Netflix right now about a woman who's just a mother who's got a daughter, and she takes her to Spain to be an ice skating tournament, and turns out that her backstory was she was a Russian spy, and the CIA calls her in to help them. So, I mean, it's really, really good. I'm just blown away by it. And I can't wait to see what happens in another one that's only 8 episodes. You gotta love these Netflix shows. They're only 8 episodes. You can knock them out in a day, even though I didn't watch
digestible
it in a day. I haven't watched a lot of anything else except for Sundance. I mean, I've seen New Jack documentary, Sylvie of the Sunshine State. It's a doc about a little girl in Fort Lauderdale, and her mother documents her life as a little kid during COVID. Poppy, I told Malcolm about Poppy. It's about a girl who wants to become a mechanic in New Zealand, but she's got Down syndrome.
Yes, you told me about
also, Straighten Up and Fly Right. Not the Nat King Cole song, but a movie about a woman who has a disability where she's bent over. She completely is bent over so far where she's always looking down.
Oh wow.
And she's kind of down on her luck, and she's a dog walker, and she kind of struggles, but she meets another guy walking dogs that's exactly like her, and they kind of commiserate together. But she's a girl or a woman, and she's still interested in men. Problem is, because of her disability, men aren't necessarily interested in her. Very good, very good, I might add. What else did I see at Slam Dance? God, I've seen so many. I mean, I've seen probably close to 10 Slam Dance films.
Ooh.
I just can't remember them all. I'm going to be putting out adding some to my capsule reviews here today. I'm going to add 2 more to my capsule reviews.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, Therapy Dogs. That's another one about a high school in Canada. You know how you do, in high school, you try to do your senior project or whatever it is. And their senior project turned out to be a full-length documentary that got produced about the lives of these kids in high school doing their normal things, partying, drinking, doing drugs, going to the plays, doing various things you could do in high school. And like high school, sometimes there's tragedies, and there's a tragedy in it. Very good. I mean, talk about it. Only high school kids did this movie. Very good for high school kids for a full-length documentary.
Yeah.
Very good. It's called Therapy Dogs. I said New Jack, right? Yes. I mean, I've seen so many. I just can't remember them all. Oh.
Listen, yeah, it's okay.
I got one. Okay. I do. It's these 2 women. One's moving in with the other. She's got her stuff in the back of the car. They get pulled over by a police officer. What the hell? I can't think of the name of it right now. But she gets a ticket for driving erratically, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she insists that the police officer waved her in front of him on the highway, and that's why she quote unquote cut the guy off. The whole movie is she's trying to get this ticket thrown out because she thinks she didn't do anything wrong. Another small little indie film, but it's like, wow, we've all been there. I mean, I don't know, Malcolm's been there. If they have highways in New Zealand or whatever,
I'm sure they do, right?
What's the fastest you can go on a car in New Zealand, Malcolm? What's the speed limit usually?
Well, on motorways and highways, it's 100 k's an hour. So
Yeah. Okay. So you are all right. So the police, yeah. This is whole deal with this. Very. Oh God, what is the name of that thing? I can't think of the name of the movie right now,
Well,
man. It sucks.
If you think about it in the middle of the show, just holler and let us know. Then we'll know. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, Slam Dance. I saw probably close to 10 films at Slam Dance. So I pretty much named most of them.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what? They've all my Sundance movies. You can hear about it on the Sundance review that we did with special guest stars. Oh, he remembered. Dan remembered.
No, I remembered another movie I saw.
Oh.
And let me tell you this. It's called Moonfall. And I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing that this week. No
Every
spoilers.
once in a while, and I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody or calling anybody names out, but if you guys want to say something, please do. You take your brain out of your head and you put it over here and you just watch something for the sake of watching it, no matter how ridiculous, how preposterous it is, you are entertained by it because you're not trying to find something that's the most artsy, fartsy, intelligent, great acting, great whatever. It's a January movie, and you have to come to expect that January movies aren't going to be very good, but you sit there and you think, wow, I enjoyed this. No matter how bad it is, I still enjoyed it. And there are bad things about Moonfall, but the story is the most ridiculous, preposterous thing you can imagine. But
it kind of does look like that.
And I kind of enjoyed it because I didn't care. I just did this. Put my brain over there and said, I'm just going to sit back and just enjoy it. And I did.
Listen, I'm super excited for it, mainly because after seeing all these movies at Sundance, I need something that's kind of stupid. That's not like, I mean, granted, I may not be entertained. I may be like, this isn't for me. I may be that way, but I'm excited just because this looks ridiculous. And I need something that I can just kind of sit back, relax, and think like, and not think about, wow, the inevitability of the destruction of the world is right around the corner. Oh, wait, Moonfall. Like something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You got the guy from one of the, Sam from Game of Thrones in there.
John Bradley.
You got Halle Berry. You got Patrick Wilson. You got Michael Pena. Like, what the heck is Michael Pena doing in this? But they're all looking for a paycheck.
Trifecta.
That's what I figured. And guess what? Yeah. It's Mr. Destruction himself, Roland Emmerich. So you know you're not going to get Oscar caliber.
No, I'm not looking for that. So we have no need to worry about that. Malcolm, what have you seen this week?
Just watch Moonfall be nominated for all the Oscars next year. I'm calling it now.
He's Roland Emmerich, Best Director.
I mean, out of the movies that came out this week, Moonfall looks miles better than the Jackass crap. So I'll put that out there.
But not into that, but I agree.
But that being said, I didn't watch any of that this week anyway. I've just been watching a lot of Clint Eastwood directed movies because after compiling my list for the Rankum coming up, I realized I've not seen a lot of his directed stuff. So I watched Gran Torino, Absolute Power, and Bridges of Madison County this week.
Nice.
And they're pretty decent. So yeah.
Get off my lawn, Malcolm.
Get off my lawn. His famous word.
I love that. Get off my lawn. And that's his son, the one guy with the hat and the shirt, the kind of punk looking guy. That's his son. That's Scott Eastwood. In like his first role ever, I think. He just like starts cussing out his own son. It's so funny. At first, when I first saw it, I didn't realize who it. And then
I didn't know that either.
Rewatches, I found out it was his son, and he's over there dog cussing out his own son. It's kind of funny.
That's hilarious. I don't know about that. So wait, so you focused on Clint Eastwood stuff, Malcolm, right?
Yeah, I really haven't watched anything else. I mean,
see
I've got a
Pale
long
Rider?
list of stuff. I've got a long list of stuff that's in cinemas at the moment, which I'll probably get along to eventually.
Nice.
Because I know as soon as I
wish you
can,
could-
so it's always top of my list. So
Oh, Malcolm, did y'all get HBO Max?
we don't have HBO Max in New Zealand.
Yeah, because they just sent it to 15 countries. HBO Max was just a news thing came out this week saying it just went to 15 countries, and Disney Plus is going to a bunch of countries very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that.
I mean, we've had Disney Plus for a few years now. So.
Oh, but you didn't. But you didn't get HBO Max yet. Still, okay.
Interesting. Okay.
I guess y'all were one of the countries it went to.
So, for me, I have seen absolutely nothing but Sundance films these past little bit, and I topped off my Sundance with seeing 3 more Sundance movies. One literally right after we recorded, and 2 that kind of topped my list, and then 2 that were like good, but nothing that really is I'm going to be how shall I put this? Having on my top 10 of this coming year, I will say. The first one that I saw that really blew me away was The Territory. Really, really love The Territory. We didn't talk about it for Sundance because obviously I didn't see it just yet, but I can see why it won the Audience Award. It's a very poignant film, very timely, and I think it is kind of a master class in documentary filmmaking of these people genuinely just kind of stepping back, telling a story. They literally went to go to some people who wanted to destroy the rainforest, literally recorded them destroying the rainforest because they were like, hey, we're just taking a step back. We just want to observe this and see this because our greatest asset that we can provide is by genuinely just being, a documentary, by documenting everything, just by documenting everything we can, and we will have the ability to show people this world that we are in. Plus, it's it's visually gorgeous. I utterly adore it. But yeah, The Territory is really, really good. I really, really like it. Let me see. And the other 2 I saw, no one saw this one. It's Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, which I think is a really kind of biting satire when it comes to mega church and Southern Baptist, and these characters were, but Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown were amazing. I really loved what they did, and they were able to provide with these characters. Although the movie kind of meandered after the second half, so it's like, meh. I wasn't as brought to laughter as I should have. And then finally, the last one was Utuma, I believe was the name of it. Our Home. It is really beautifully melancholy, very quiet. Utuma, very solid filmmaking. I think the highlight of this is just kind of like the atmosphere that was created by the director. I think it's a Bolivian film, excuse me. I like it. I didn't love it. It felt very cerebral, like not cerebral. Cerebral's the wrong word. It felt very kind of distant a lot of the times. Not that it's a bad thing, but it didn't grip me as much as it could have. But it's still a solid film and a great way to kind of cap off my Sundance film. So I was able to see 21 films, a record for me. But I know other people have seen a lot more, and I'm over here like, how? How did y'all do that? Thank you, Dan. Thank you. How did y'all do that? I couldn't. 21 films. I was kind of kicking myself to get through all those. Woo. But regardless, those are what we've seen, and we're getting to our main discussion right now. So we're going to start off with last week we had a really interesting day where we had four different Guild Awards announce their nominations. We had earlier in the day, I believe we had PGA, we had ACETIs, we had WGA, and then finally we had DGA to cap off everything. So to kind of start off, we had started off with PGA and WGA were like the first 2. So Malcolm, take us through the PGA, WGA nominations and kind of lead the discussion for us along the lines of what did we get, and what does this mean for the categories, obviously, and your thoughts and all that stuff.
So the first thing I'm actually going to lead off is like in looking up in this, there was a whole bunch of movies that are eligible for this. Most notably, the two biggest ones is Power the Dog and Belfast. For whatever reason, it is
WGA, right?
Yeah, WGA.
It's because they. Okay, may I say one quick thing first?
Yes.
I find it to be ridiculous that WGA is the only guild where you have to make sure your membership is up to date, or you have to be a member to be eligible for that award. And it's kind of ridiculous because none of them like you said, Belfast, Power of the Dog, Passing, The Lost Daughter, none of them were eligible because the people who wrote them were not part of WGA, didn't pay their dues or something. It's ridiculous. Sorry, that's.
But that being said, for Best Original Screenplay, I've got Being the Ricardos because, of course, Aaron Sorkin. Got Don't Look Up, The French Dispatch, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and Best Adapted Screenplay, we've got Coda, Dune, Nightmare Alley, Tick Tick Boom, and West Side Story. And it's definitely an interesting bunch of nominations here. I think in reality, I think in both of these, I think there's going to be one that's not going to make it in because I do still think Power of the Dog and Belfast will get in here when it come time for the Oscars. But that being said, Manning, what are your thoughts about the WGA?
No, you're right. I agree with you 100%. There is like no way, shape, or form that Belfast and Power of the Dog are not making it in. It just kind of seems like a foregone conclusion. WGA, I don't think this is one of those years where I'm not going to put a lot of stock into WGA, mainly because if you look at the list of things that were ineligible, it's kind of staggering to me that they haven't looked at themselves and are like, maybe we should change our rules of eligibility. Because it's kind of ridiculous the number of films and quote unquote front runners that didn't make it on the list. I think the only front runner that didn't make it on the list but that was still eligible was West Side Story, to my knowledge. Or did West Side Story make it? I can't remember. Did West Side Story make WGA?
West Side Story did make it.
It did make it. Okay, so I'm thinking of USC Scripter. Apologies. That was eligible, but it missed that one. Regardless, it's still interesting. That was the case, but I think these are kind of solid to show you what are in the mix. Like, I think all these are kind of like in the tin for their respective categories, but there were so many ineligible that I don't know if I put these as like the gospel truth. And of course, you're right. LOL, Aaron Sorkin does make it again. I'm going to check how many times has he made WGA. Please, but go ahead, Malcolm. I'm going to keep looking.
Yeah. But yeah, Dan, what are your thoughts about WGA?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't want to reiterate what Manning said, but to be honest, Manning is telling the truth here. And it looks to me like old Aaron might be, him or Adam Mckay might be in the driver's seat here for the one. And then you got to look at PTA possibly is the other one, because we were saying PTA could win the other one in the Oscars anyway. It's his Power of the Dog and Belfast would be in the same category, right? And we were looking at Jane Campion.
No, I think Power of the Dog and Belfast are two different categories. I think Belfast's original, Power of the Dog is adapted.
Okay, so it would be Jane Campion and PTA. We were looking at could possibly be the winners of the Oscars in the two different categories. So it's obviously, it looks like PTA's got this from what films did get in, and then it's a 2-horse race probably in this but Sorkin's looking pretty good here, if you ask me, the way things look. But you never know. I was saying look out for Adam Mckay, but I think did I say for Adam? No, I also said for Producers Guild too.
Yeah, well, I will quickly say he's been nominated for 15 WGA awards. Like, that's
it's in the bag. Might as well give it to him. You know, it's in the bag.
No, I wouldn't, because is that adapted or original?
Original is being the Ricardos.
Licorice Pizza. Licorice Pizza.
Okay.
Licorice Pizza's there, if I'm not mistaken.
All right then.
Yeah,
I thought there was
because
categories.
Yeah, Josephine, our favorite Josephine, says, crossing my fingers, Licorice Pizza wins original screenplay at WGA, building momentum for it to win the Oscar or give or take Belfast. Yes, I think this is where PTA could honestly, I don't think he's winning if director, but this might be where they want to award him finally.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head. So if he's in the same with Sorkin, then forget about Sorkin.
Yeah. But in saying that, looking at these awards, I honestly don't know what ones are going to drop out to make room for Power of the Dog and Belfast. I think I'm going to hesitantly say, as much as I did like the movie, I'd say maybe Tick Tick Boom is the one that's going to fall out, because I think it might be either Tick Tick Boom or West Side Story, but I think West Side Story is much stronger, so that script might be enough to get it in there. And on the original side, I hate to say it, but I've got a feeling it's going to be French Dispatch. I don't want it to be French Dispatch because I want it to get into a screenplay. But I think it's either going to be that. I don't think there's a way Don't Look Up's missing this somehow.
No, yeah, Don't Look Up's definitely not missing. I feel like that's one of the biggest disconnects I've seen in some time, because correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, technically speaking, Don't Look Up?
62 is quote unquote rotten, I believe, and 63 is fresh.
Yeah, okay. Well,
so
whatever.
It's rotten by 1%. If I'm not completely sure though. I think it's rotten by, if it's 62, that's considered rotten. 63 is fresh, but don't quote
me. I just find it interesting, the biggest disconnect, how if you look at critics, it's kind of like,
Maybe it's 73.
I think it's lower than that, if I'm not mistaken. It's lower than Vice, I know that. Which was already low. But Adam, I don't think the guilds matter, and I think this is kind of like a cementing of like, we love Adam McKay and his particular set of films that he's doing outside of like, Anchorman or Step Brothers. But I think you're right. I think that's in. What are the remind me again, what were the nominees for original again, Malcolm?
Original was Being the Ricardos, Don't Look Up, The French Dispatch, King Richard, and Licorice Pizza.
Okay, so like what? So if Belfast makes it in, I'm guessing that's in place of The French Dispatch.
I mean,
loves that film.
I mean, I'm thinking so, but it's one of the. I think a surprising one that could be knocked out for at the Oscars would probably be King Richard, but but other than that, because I think like come Oscars, I think Being the Ricardos, Don't Look Up, and Licorice Pizza, I think have been getting a lot of love everywhere, so I think they will probably translate to Oscar nominations. The other two, I'm not too sure about.
You're right, Malcolm. There's a lot of words in The French Dispatch. A lot of people speaking, a lot of narration, that has got to be a gigantic script. I mean, I couldn't imagine how thick that thing could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But in saying that, has Wes Anderson actually got much love at the Oscars?
I think he won one for animated feature.
I was talking more about screenplay.
I
was looking at he's only been nominated 3 times for screenplay, and that's Royal Tenenbaums, Moonrise Kingdom, and Grand Budapest Hotel. He hasn't actually won an Academy Award.
Surprisingly. Also, Josephine says, I personally would love French Dispatch nominated an original screenplay. I believe you, Malcolm, you two share that same sentiment.
I enjoyed the movie a lot. I enjoyed the movie. I mean, it's got to be in set production, you would imagine, or art direction.
Saying that, one thing I will throw in there, the 3 movies that he was nominated at the Oscars, he was also nominated at the Writers Guild of America for the same years.
So, interesting.
So
good stat.
That could be so. Maybe King Richard gets in if Belfast misses out if Belfast gets in.
Question: do we think that remember how there's always like one screenplay from that gets no other nomination below the line? Is
Yeah.
maybe The French Dispatch could be that one, although it could get production design or original score. It could do that, maybe, but it could just get a screenplay nomination and then be like, bye bye.
Because there always is that one outlier. You're absolutely
Always.
right. There's always that one outlier.
Hey, I mean, that French Dispatch, like if there is someone out like I think French Dispatch is one of them because going into PGA, I don't think it's getting it anywhere else.
No.
I mean, the only other place it could get in is what I meant, set production. I mean, it's got
production design and original score.
Most unbelievable set production of any movie. I'd love to watch a movie about just how they did all that. Like a documentary about it. That would be very fascinating because I don't think there's any movie that's got better set production. I mean, there's Dune out there, there's The Last Duel out there, but this, oh my God, The French Dispatch was incredible.
Was French Dispatch on the original score shortlist?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually,
I'm getting that up right now. As we speak.
We're gonna find out real soon. Well, while you're looking at that, what I'll also add to the fact is that you also could have something like Pedro Almodovar. Remember, he's a screenplay winner. He could get in for Parallel Mothers. That's one as well too. That's a possibility. They like him. He's won an Oscar without his movie getting in. Because remember, Parallel Mothers obviously was not picked, so he could get in because they love Pedro Almodovar. That's another possibility. I'm trying to think what else.
But yeah, French Dispatch is on the shortlist for the score at the Oscars, so that can still get in there.
Okay. Oh, come on.
Is that the Splat, Malcolm?
Yes. Yeah, no, I think it is Desplat, because I think Desplat and Anderson go together quite a bit often.
They love Desplat too.
They do. Desplat.
Didn't he win for? Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he win for the Grand Budapest Hotel or no?
He did. Great score in my opinion.
But any other words on Writer's Guild?
Don't pay attention to them too much.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have Power of the Dog in there, you can't really take it serious, right?
Wait, then I'll ask the same thing for adapted screenplay. What's gonna make it in over like? Because obviously, I think like Dune is making it in.
Yeah.
What are the ones? Remind me again what adapted was.
I'm just getting it back up because I thought we didn't.
Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up.
Could the Tender Bar get in there, or is that just a
Tender Bar wasn't there?
Okay.
Coda, Dune, Nightmare Alley, Tick Tick Boom, and West Side Story.
Tick Tick Boom, yeah. I think that's a lot of the music, and if anything, and I think it's direction. I don't think the script is great. I think because of the songs and stuff, you could make a case for why part of it is really well written because of the songs and whatever. But the script, I mean, it's well directed. And the performance by Andrew Garfield saying whatever the words are and singing the songs is what makes that script better. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I like Tick Tick Boom is the one I think might be the one that gets knocked out, so Power of the Dog can get in. Mm-hmm. The other one is there really isn't a lot there. It's hard because the 5 that is in Writer's Guild are all very strong contenders. I mean, the only one I could maybe think of which could be controversial is Dune because it's technically half a book. I mean, it's I don't know how much the Academy might think. Well, it's half a book. I'm going to give it half a vote. I don't know if that's how it works.
Only half. I'm looking back now. What was the last musical to get? What was the last musical to get an Oscar nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay? I mean, if we talk about original La La Land, I know. Wait, wait La La Land get a screenplay nomination? Yeah, it did, right? It did.
I think so.
Then I think the last one was like what, Chicago or something?
Yeah, because I mean, and this is one of those cases that we've got two musicals. So one of them, I think, one of them might get knocked out for Power of the Dog to
Yeah.
get in.
I think so too. I think that's just a.
I mean,
it's just a.
I don't know if you'd call it a musical, but A Star Is Born got nominated.
It's about music, so
yeah,
ish.
It won the best song.
It did. It's a good song.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it's one of those ones like whether or not you call it a musical. That was the last one that nominated, if you want to call it. I am just
don't see the Tender Bar having any shot at adapted, do you?
Not with. I mean, not with the base that is there at the moment.
I just want to throw that out there. I just want to.
I mean,
all right.
Yes.
So let's just run over to DGA since Malcolm's. Look ahead.
Wait, one quick thing I will add is that I would not count out something like a because don't forget, adapted screenplay is very, very, very stacked. You could have something like Tragedy of Macbeth, which didn't make it. Wait, did Tragedy of Macbeth make it?
Not in the WGA.
Okay, it did not make it. Drive My Car didn't make it. That's another movie that was been really doing really well with critics. Passing didn't make it. That's something else that could make it as the lone. Well, actually, no, that's Ruth Negga. I think is going to make it in. But that's just another thing to throw out there as a possibility.
Yeah,
so
definitely agree. Definitely agree. All right, let's just run over to DGA while Malcolm catches up and gets his next thing ready here. So the nominees for Best Director are Jane Campion for Power of the Dog, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Denis Villeneuve for Dune, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, and there is a Lifetime Achievement Award for Spike Lee. And then for the first time directing, we have now this name here. This documentary. My bad. All right, first time. Here we go. Rebecca Hall for Passing.
Yeah. Woo!
Joseph. What the heck? Oh, that's the bottom of the list. All right, never mind. I have to go to the top of the list here. How about that?
Okay, do that.
So, God, where am I? It says directing documentaries. All right, so we have Lin-Manuel Miranda for Tick, Tick, Boom. Maggie Gyllenhaal for The Lost Daughter. Michael Samosky. What did he direct?
Pig.
Oh, Pig. That's right.
Pig.
Oh, God.
Great movie.
So we have, it says Emma Seligman. What did she direct?
Shiva Baby.
Shiva Baby. Okay, so there you go. I forgot what she directed.
Great movie, Shiva Baby.
I mean, according to what I'm looking at here, there was actually 6, and Tatiana Hughes over Praise for the Stolen is also in there.
Yeah,
first time.
I thought she was director. I thought she was documentary for some reason. I don't know why I thought that.
No,
I was looking right at the name too, Malcolm. Tatiana Huzo. So those are the ones. All right, so let's get you guys' predictions on who do you think is going to win DGA in those two categories. Malcolm, you go first.
I mean, I think like,
you think those are the 5? I mean, basically, are those going to be the 5 for the Oscar? That's another question I have for you.
I'm pretty confident those are going to be the 5. Like it's one. I mean, if there was a double up between that and First Time, like there has been a couple times in the past, then maybe there could be. But I think this is a case of this is definitely. I'm pretty sure this is the 5, and I think to who's going to win, I think it's probably going to be Jane Campion or Paul Thomas Anderson. I almost called him Philip for a second there, for some reason.
Like Jane Campion or Paul Thomas Anderson for regular directing, and first time directing. Who did you say for that?
I didn't say anything for that yet.
Oh, okay.
I was getting there.
Sorry.
And just because I really would like to see him get an award for something, I think it could be Lin-Manuel Miranda for Tick Tick Boom.
Listen, it could be anyone based upon. Remember the fact that year when first time DGA, when Bradley Cooper was nominated for both director and first time director, but he lost both, and he lost first time director to Bo Burnham for 8th Grade. So there could be. I think anyone could win first time. Genuinely, any of them could win first time, and we'd be like, well, that sounds like DGA just kind of going with their heart in that sense, because. Another time, I think it was like, what? Who directed Lion? Garth Davis or something like that, I believe was his name.
Yes,
he was nominated for. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But he did Lion, and he won that for first time DGA. And I believe it's interesting because he was also nominated. I don't think he was nominated for.
He was nominated for an Oscar, right?
I don't know. That's what I can't remember right now. I'm gonna look that up.
Didn't Lion get in for director, actor, actress, supporting actor?
I could find out. But like, no, I think that he could win. No, I believe that any of them could win. Like, it's awesome. And also, I agree with Josephine that Emma winning. Seligman, Emma Seligman is fantastic because Shiva Baby is an incredibly taut thriller, and I really appreciate that. So,
I think now. Do you got the other category? You got a guess?
Yes. I think that honestly there's a big chance that we could have Jane Campion win this, or you could have Belfast come out of nowhere.
Well, Kenneth Branagh was the front runner for a while at directing. That's not saying anything that's, he's been Belfast was the front runner forever and ever. And Kenneth Branagh has been the front runner for directing forever and ever.
I feel like Campion has been the front runner, like, because she has won. Well, like, she has literally since the beginning won so many like critics' praise. Like, she was the one. Like, even if the movie hasn't gotten that, like, she's been taking the critical praise from like all the different ones. And I think Belfast. I'm not sure if Belfast is the quote unquote front runner when it comes to like the critics. Obviously, it is not. But when it comes to the guild, it could. And that might be the case for DGA. We're going to find out. We don't know.
Yeah.
Right, so, okay, Malcolm, go ahead.
No, I was about to say is like Jane Campion just recently got the Australian Critics Award for Pga Wga Dog as well.
That's funny.
All right, so I'm gonna go with a guy because I think this film is getting a lot of praise, and I think this is a film that they want to kind of reward this film for the achievement that it is, and I'm gonna go with Michael Samaski for Pig first time. I have a strong suspicion about that. I don't know why. I just have a strong suspicion about that guy and that movie. And then I'm gonna go with Jane Campion as well as I think like what you guys have been saying about Jane Campion for Power of the Dog. I would love to be Denis Villeneuve, to be honest. If I had my druthers,
that'd be great.
My personal pick, I would go with Denis Villeneuve because I just think what he did with Dune is an absolute achievement that is rare. I mean, I cannot wait for part 2. And we got to wait 2 years for part 2, But if he won, I'd be ecstatic. But I think it's going to be Jane Campion. So that's DGA.
I'm excited.
Like you guys said, I think this is the 5. I mean, I would love Spielberg out of there and Adam McKay in there maybe, but I think we're getting Steven Spielberg. I think
when is the last time DGA has gone 5 for 5? Is the problem I'm thinking of. Like,
So
I don't remember
somebody's
them.
going to be out of there then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's 4 for 5.
All right.
Because
I think we're all pretty much on board with 5 for 5. But if you decided to pick one of these that don't make it into the Oscar, which one would it be, Malcolm?
If I had to pick one that wasn't going to get in, I'd say I'm actually hesitantly going to say Kenneth Branagh.
ooh,
I
what a
think
twist.
well, just because I think that Steven Spielberg is quite loved by the Academy, and I think I just don't see a world in which he misses First Sight. So just considering how much praise that it's gotten, Belfast I think has been like struggling a bit in the awards race. So.
All right. So you're on record with saying Kenneth Branagh could be out if you had to pick somebody that could be out for the Oscar. Manning, who's your pick?
I think it could be Paul Thomas Anderson, because out of all of them, I think his film is the least it's the least showy direction. It is the least showy direction out of all of them, and I could totally see him missing because he hasn't gotten into DGA and since There Will Be Blood back in 2007, and he made it in, and look what happened. He ultimately made it in. It is hard because it's like, who do you take out? Because they're all have done incredibly well so far, but I don't remember the last time where they went 5 for 5. Like, I think it was, oh geez Louise, when was the last time they went 5 for 5?
All right, so you're saying Licorice Pizza. Malcolm is saying Kenneth Branagh, and I'm saying the shocker of the Oscars. Spielberg gets knocked out of director.
Oh wow!
Now, the other side of the coin here. If one of those three doesn't get in, who gets in their place?
I mean, look, I think that going by the track record of the Oscars, I'd say it's going to be one of the international directors, maybe the director for Drive My Car. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name.
That's fine. We know what you're talking about. That's very good.
I think the director of Drive My Car might sneak in there because I'm pretty sure the last few times I think it's been 4 out of 5, and then the other one's been a random international one that's come out of nowhere.
All right, Manning.
Ryosuke Hamaguchi. So, it's either Ryosuke or Ryosuke Hamaguchi. It is Hamaguchi. That's the part I know. So I said last time that I would learn it, and I've learned at least part of it. So Hamaguchi's Drive My Car. I think that BAFTA is going to give us a clear sense of who they're putting their swaft behind. Like, I think Hamaguchi is an excellent choice. It might also be Decornu. Well, not really. It can be Decornu. Forget that, because that movie's not doing as well as we would think. Paolo Sorrentino, that could be one. I think there's going to be an international because of what we've had the past 3 years. It's kind of a trend. Oh, wait, hold on. Josephine makes an excellent point. I would love it if Julia Decornu pulled a David Lynch and got a lone directing nomination, her film not being shortlisted for international feature. She could totally get a lone director nomination. I don't know. I think she'd have to get in for BAFTA. That's the thing. She'll have to be in for BAFTA, which we can talk about in a second. But no, I could totally see like Hamaguchi getting in for Drive My Car, because putting in someone from international, I think BAFTA helps propel them, and DGA hasn't really done that as much. Usually you have to see that. Usually you take 4 from DGA. Like whatever I think you're going to have 4. You're getting 4. It all depends on which 4 that is, because I don't know, and maybe BAFTA will tell us which ones are safest. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to throw a couple out there, and I want you guys to just say what your percentages of them not making it.
Let's do it
real quick. Aaron Sorkin.
No, if he missed for Trial of Chicago 7, I don't see it.
Okay. Manning, Malcolm, nothing for you on that?
Well, yeah. For directing, I don't see Aaron Sorkin getting in.
George Clooney. Zero.
Zero.
What
All
he
right.
direct?
All right. I was just wondering. I just kind of thrown out. John Watts.
Zero.
Okay.
No.
Cary Fukunaga.
For No Time to Die?
Yeah.
No shot. No chance.
I'm just I'll see what gauging the interest here with this. Okay, so
Well,
I'm going to go with Malcolm. If anybody gets in the director that's not on the 5 that we have, DJ, Drive My Car director. I think he's got a legit shot at it. Wow, what a masterpiece. I mean, an absolute masterpiece of directing. And you'll see why, Manning, when you watch the film. I mean, just an incredible film.
I hate to say it, though. Maybe Adam Mckay gets in.
Adam Mckay. I didn't bring Adam Mckay up. I forgot about Adam Mckay. Is, I think, the wild card in the directing. You're absolutely.
I don't like it.
I
don't like it at all.
You're absolutely 100% right. It is the wild card here. Adam Mckay. You cannot count Adam Mckay out because of.
No, you can't. Wait a minute. Has he? Wait, hold on. I'm going to check something real fast.
Vice in the Big Short. He was nominated for something.
Yeah, Adam Mckay has been nominated before.
Yeah. So
for DGA.
Oh, DGA. I don't think he. I know he has. He was nominated for The Big Short for DGA.
Okay. Did he get in? He got in for Vice, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
And
again, correct me if I am wrong in that regard.
Yeah, Adam Mckay got in for Vice as well on the DGAs.
Okay, he missed both, but I'm sorry, he got in both, but he missed for this one. Perhaps then this shows that if he can't make it in for this one, but he's made it in for both Vice and The Big Short, maybe he doesn't get in. Just a thought. That's my possible theory.
But I would say if you had to pick a 6th, I would say I named a bunch of people, but I really do believe the 6th guy is probably Adam Mckay. Like if they changed it, the 6th director, 6th actor, 6th, blah, 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 I think Adam Mckay is your 6th.
I think he's 7th, possibly.
Oh, okay.
I see that as 7th mainly because if he had gotten in, I would think, oh, okay, he's definitely in. Why? Yeah, but I think Drive My Car is my 5, and then my 6 is
whoever gets knocked out of DGA.
Yes,
I got you.
Yes, that's what I think to be the case.
All right,
so
let's go to Malcolm. Back to Malcolm for PGA.
Sounds like a plan.
PGA, Producer Guild.
All right, before I go to that,
oh yes, go quickly. I'll say is, Josephine made a great point. Vice came out in a weaker season, though. That's what a lot of people don't bring up when making the blanket assessment. The Academy loves Mckay. I mean, they do because Sam Rockwell got in. That's the thing. Sam Rockwell, for playing a caricature of George W. Bush, made it in. I will make that argument. And they kind of did a blanket nomination because I feel like they do enjoy him. And Don't Look Up is kind of really loved by the guild so far. Again, the fact that both Cate Blanchett and Meryl Streep shortlisted for Best Supporting Actress at the BAFTA is telling. But you're right. I need to look up to see what actually came out the year of Vice because I don't remember it being a weaker year because A Star Was Born. But I'm going to double check that. So sorry, go ahead, Malcolm.
But yeah, before I go on to PGA, the last time the DGA 5 was the Oscar 5 was 2009. We had Catherine Bigelow, James Cameron, Lee Daniels, Jason Reitman, and Quentin Tarantino.
Wow. That's a list.
So it's been almost 12 years and they've not coincided.
When's the last time before that is the question then? I mean, after that, excuse me.
I'll go back.
Oh, no, you do. I'll let you do it. I will look up. You do your PGA.
Oh, yeah. All right. So nominations for PGA. we've had Being the Ricardos, Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Power of the Dog, Tick Tick Boom, and West Side Story. And for producer of animated motion pictures is Encanto, Luca, Mitchell's vs. the Machine, Raya, and Sing 2. Just because that's there as well. Documentary was Ascension, The First Wave, Flea, In the Same Breath, The Rescue, Simple as Water, Summer of Soul, and Writing with Fire. Yeah, I mean, I think this might be the Oscar Thames. I can't, unfortunately, I don't see No Way Home or No Time to Die getting into the Oscars. Maybe if BAFTA gives them some love, maybe. But at this point, I think I think Bond's chances of getting an Oscar nomination has died, even though he's got no time for it. And Spider-Man's not making it home for the Oscars.
I see which. Wow, love it.
But Dan, what are your thoughts on the PGA?
Well, I believe I said keep an eye out for Don't Look Up in PGA. And what do you know? But I do have to give credit to Malcolm. He kept on telling me, don't follow the money. Don't follow the money. And I was like, follow the money. Follow the money. No, don't follow the money in this case. And I should have listened to Malcolm and not followed the money, because none of the big money makers got in. But I did call Don't Look Up, so I get that credit. So there you go.
I mean, you could arguably say Dune is a big money maker, and it did make some money. It may not be the biggest money maker, but it did make some money.
Well, I will add upon that point, if I may interject, is that this is a very un-PGA lineup. This felt more like an Oscar tin than it did a PGA tin, because Producers Guild, at least from what I remember of being taught since I've been into Oscars, is that PGA has always wanted to reward the bigger films, the more, financially well-endowed films, one that actually have made a sort of a impact. They like that money. So Dan, I think you were right when you were saying follow the money, because that's what we've seen in the past. The movie has to be good, and it has to have made money for them to bring it in, a la Deadpool, Wonder Woman, Crazy Rich Asians. And I need to go back to see how long they've been doing that. But I don't think it was out of the norm for one of us to think Spider-Man No Way Home or No Time to Die or even House of Gucci could have made it in. I assumed one of the three was going to make it in, and then none of them did. So.
Although it's one of those ones, like, as we were talking about on the last show, because we brought up the fact that Endgame was the biggest money maker a few years ago, and that missed PGA. So, I mean, there was that as well. So I think there obviously has been some change in the lineup of the PGA at some point in time for the big money makers to not make it in, because I think something has had to have changed since about Endgame time for that to happen.
No, you're right, and I will also add upon the fact is that I think it was pointed out because I was listening. I forgot if it was the IndieWire podcast or if it was Next Best Picture, but when they were going over that, they were saying that if you look at this, most of these films in PGA are what was it? Maybe, man, now I can't remember now. It was most of these are streamings. These are all streamers. Most of these are streaming. They're not exactly ones that went out into theaters. Something like Dune or King Richard, which were, they were in theaters. They also were on streaming. And I don't think there's any, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think besides like West Side Story and Belfast, none of these were exactly films that were only in theaters. Am I right? Or I don't think any of the other ones count.
Yeah, I think most of these are streamers.
Interesting. We've come so far. Remember when they never made it for anything?
But I mean,
Netflix has got a shot, guys, this year. I mean, I mean, we've
100%.
seen that the last 2 years, but they have a legitimate shot at finally winning Best Picture here. We'll find out with the
Agreed.
producers if they go with one of the Netflix movies. Then you really got to predict a Netflix movie to win it. But if Don't Look Up gets in here and Power of the Dog gets in here, I'm telling you, Tick Tick Boom gets in here. You're looking at 3 Netflix movies there. Is no Tick Tick Boom?
Tick Tick Boom, I think, can make it. I think Tick Tick Boom needed the PGA just to cement itself, just to show it can just get picture and it can just get Garfield. If it gets those 2 nominations, that's okay, because that's what it could probably, tap out in, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I mean, as going from what we talked about with WGA, it may get knocked out, but it could slide in something else that gets knocked out for WGA, so it could get 3 at least.
That's what I'm saying.
But even if you look on the animated side of things, just about all of the animated ones are streaming as well, because you've got Encanto, Luca, Mitchell's, Raya, and Sing 2. Sing 2 is the only one that is not streaming in any shape or form at the moment.
Probably will. Raya, keep an eye out for Peacock.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It was primarily theatrical last year. The other ones were all streaming at one point of the year, because, like, Raya and the Last Dragon, as the example, that was Premier Access as well as theaters, so people could watch it on streaming at the same time.
But I will say this: Mitchell's is out on Blu-ray and DVD, so if you don't have Netflix, you could still get it on Vudu, VOD, DVD, Blu-ray, if you decide to go that route. So that's good for a Netflix movie to give people options in case you don't have Netflix, because that's a Sony produced movie in conjunction with Netflix. So Sony put the physical media out.
No, you're right. Also, on a quick thing that Josephine said, what film outside of the PGA 10 do you think is most likely to make the BAFTA Best Film 5? So that's interesting. I'm gonna look up to see what made the shortlist real fast. 1 second, y'all.
Don't Look Up. I mean, you gotta think of Don't Look Up because of the cast.
Well, Don't Look Up also made the PGA 10. Something outside of the PGA 10.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What could make it outside of the PGA 10?
Did Nightmare Alley make it?
I don't. Yeah, Nightmare Alley wasn't nominated.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think outside of the PGA 10 of BAFTAs, I think No Time to Die probably could make it into BAFTAs.
Yeah. I should have remembered that. That would be crazy. That then you can, I mean, you might be able to use it, but I doubt it. And then you could start saying, okay, don't look at the BAFTAs as a way to figure out the Oscars.
Okay.
Last year,
I will say.
Go ahead.
Best film for the long list for BAFTA is as follows, being the Ricardos: Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Dune, House of Gucci, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, No Time to Die, The French Dispatch, The Lost Daughter, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, Tick Tick Boom, West Side Story. Tragedy of Macbeth could make it, and if they like the Shakespeare enough, No Time to Die, or House of Gucci. We know that there is love for Gucci within the guilds. It is the actors, but
foreign. It's foreign too.
I know Tom DiGnino is going around paying off everyone, but
House of Gucci, yes, nice callback. I will know.
You got to
technically
put
speaking,
Belfast in there. That's a no-brainer, right?
Yes.
What's the other British film that's in the long list?
Well, House of Gucci is technically an outstanding British film. It's a British film, technically.
It's a foreign film, technically. It's because it's about foreign people in Italy, and maybe that would
but
connect with
no,
some
it's
of the people over there.
no, it's literally in the category for British film. Like it's considered a British
Oh, there
production.
you go. Gucci. There's Gucci in Belfast.
Is
So
French Dispatch in that same boat? I'm not too sure about Wes Anderson where he comes
that's
from. Is
technically
It
that,
is not.
a movie about
it's not.
France. It's about a newspaper in France.
Well, yeah, but from what I've sort of looked on, apparently it's based on the New Yorker though. So
Oh,
Ironic.
okay.
Yeah.
But isn't there another British film? I mean, like set in Britain besides. So Gucci, Belfast, No Time to Die.
Spencer? No,
What
that Spencer is set in
well,
Britain, but it's not.
Spencer.
is it? Not in
I
the
know.
long list though, is it?
You know, it's in a long list for outstanding British film. Because remember, there's the best film, and then there's the outstanding British film. So
I mean, the other one is how often does the best British film and the best outstanding film overlap? Because we could get a
good idea.
Because if Gucci is an outstanding British film, that could miss out on the outstanding film.
Good point.
That's
Good
so
point, Malcolm.
true.
And you can't legitimately think Boiling Point's not in there. It's only in British film, right? Boiling Point.
Only a British film, so it probably gets in there.
Yeah, I would almost guarantee. I've been looking to see where I could find Boiling Point. It's $4 on a couple of the streaming services, so I might actually pull the and go watch Boiling Point because I'm hearing Stephen Graham is phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's like channeling Gordon Ramsay,
which we'll get into in a second when we get to BAFTA stuff. But preview, look out, spoiler, maybe.
All right, is that it for you, Malcolm?
That's it for me.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to touch on documentaries, but I've got nothing else to say about the PGAs.
No. We will say. Go ahead, Manny.
No, I said no. We can talk about documentaries at a later date, just because I want to be able to get to the ball rolling for us.
When I get to animated, I do have a point to make about when it comes to the Eddies and the other categories.
The Eddies. Well, then please, I would love to hear what the Eddies are.
Okay, the Eddies for feature drama. For the drama category, we have Belfast, Dune, King Richard, No Time to Die, and Power of the Dog. Very good list. For comedy, we have Cruella, Don't Look Up, The French Dispatch, Licorice Pizza, Tick Tick Boom. Might as well just say comedy or musical, even though it's just comedy. And for animated, we have Encanto, Luca, Mitchell's vs. the Machines, Raya and the Last Dragon, and Sing 2. And so we have to say it looks like from all these kind of precursors that those are going to be the 5 animated. I mean, it'd be shocking if something else got into the 5 in animated, because now we've got it with the PGA and the Ace Eddies, right? That's 2. We got the exact same 5, right? And
I mean, it's yeah.
And the Annies, wasn't the Annies the same 5 or no?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
No, because if you went to the independent section, there was still Belle and Flea. Like, I think
that's a separate category, right?
Yes, the separate category for independent, but always from just a statistical standpoint. If you look back, one from independent always seems to like make it in right there because the Academy really does enjoy, in comparison to some of the other guilds, they love to have an independent film in there. I still think I think Flea makes it in. I don't think Belle or anything else makes it in. It's either Flea or Sing 2, I think, at this point.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I think, and here's a little bit of a clue for those that are following Gone with the Wind. We are going to be doing a Best International Feature episode. We're going to have more discussion about Flea and what its chances are in various categories. I think what Manning's saying is that it still has a legit shot at animation.
Yes.
I do not, because the animation is not that good. But it is a very good documentary and a very good foreign film. And I think it's got much more of a shot at those two than anime. But we'll have more discussion about that when we talk about the international feature category.
Fair. Yeah.
Malcolm, what are your thoughts? That looks like we got our 5 in animation.
I think in just about everywhere we've been seeing, I think that is the big 5 that is we're seeing. And this is one of those ones like, while I do agree with Manning and that an indie one could get in here. And if anything does get in, I think Flea is the one that slides in. But it's insane that this could be the year that there is no international one because of the fact that the animated movies across the board have been pretty strong, and these are really 5 well-received musicals. And I think I could be wrong, but I think the first Sing got it in, so which could mean that Sing 2 could get in as well.
No, I agree 100% what your assessment is there, Malcolm. I've been champion one other one that I would love to see get in when it comes to the foreign aspects, but I think with all these tea leaves that we keep reading here with everybody, PGA, now the Eddies, the Annies, everybody, we got the same 5, and that's almost like a slap in your face. If you put anything other than these 5, you're dumb for Gold Derby. You're not saying you're dumb, but you're just not going to get it. You're going to lose out, I think, if you don't put these 5. And if one of them does get knocked out for Flea, or the one I think is a great film, and that's Propel of Chimney City, then so what? But you got to go with what it looks like for Gold Derby here. I would be predicting these 5 if I was people out there, if you got your Gold Derby. All right, let's go to drama. Are these 5? Are we going to see a No Time to Die in Best Picture? Is this and then BAFTA possibly two kind of clues, 2 kind of like things you can look at and say, uh-oh, it looks like No Time to Die might sneak into Best Picture? No? Okay.
No.
There's great editing in No Time to Die. I'm just trying.
Yes. No, I agree. I agree.
Something here. I'm trying to get you guys, but you're right. No, there's just great editing in No Time. That's why it's in here. This is, let's not mince words here. It's not going to get into Best Picture, but phenomenal editing, and I love how they rewarded it here.
Yeah, I mean, if No Time to Die got a PGA nomination, I probably would have agreed. But I think this is one of those cases that I don't know sort of how the editing sort of breaks, how the ace editors translate when it comes to the 2 different categories. Because I don't know if it's mostly the drama-y stuff, or it's mostly comedy, or it's a mix. I don't know how that generally translates in the Oscars. But it's definitely a good mix of nominations, that's for sure.
And in the comedy, I mean, man, you go ahead about drama first.
Well, what I will add real fast is that when you say No Time to Die, is it going to make it in? Okay, well, this is interesting because if it had made it into PGA, I think, yes, it could make it in to show the actual love for that film. Because if you look back at Ace Eddie's, Casino Royale and Skyfall, the 2 considered good James Bond films, both made it into Ace Eddie's. So there is precedent. And then they both made it into BAFTA. They love it. So if this translates into BAFTA, there's a possibility. However, it did not make it into editing, if I'm not mistaken, in either Oscars, be it the 2006 or the 2012 Oscars. It didn't make it in. It did not translate, and I don't know where or why that disconnect transpires, but it does.
Okay.
Again, I don't know why that is the case. I would love it if it made it in, because there's always I feel like one editing film that's not a Best Picture, not always, but not like 80% of the time, there's always like one film that the Oscars like to throw in that's not exactly a Best Picture nominee. Like you look at I, Tonya or Baby Driver or The Force Awakens when that was nominated that year as well too. Maybe there's a movie that's not in Best Picture that is just there based upon the merits of its editing. I don't know. And No Time to Die could fit that bill, I think. Can we just take into effect? Well, we just lost Malcolm. I didn't realize that. So what I was going to add is, add to that fact is for, like we don't have West Side Story is the thing. Like that's the big miss for it personally, I think, because Tick Tick Boom made it.
Is this a sign? Is this a sign that I've been pointing to all along that West Side Story is not that good?
I think it's a sign that
these little things that could lead to a non-nomination for West Side Story in Best Picture.
I will say, Ann Thompson on IndieWire said that she's been hearing from people who ask, why did Steven Spielberg have to remake this? That's just a possibility. That's the question.
I asked the same question. What's the point? I mean, Steven Spielberg, you've done everything. Why do this? You know, I've been championing another film that I would love to see him do and do something he's never done, and that's direct a stop motion animation film. But
that'd be interesting. I would not be opposed to that, honestly.
I'd love for him to work with Leica and do a stop motion animation film of Mouse. Now we got this Mouse controversy. It's now
one
of the top books in the world after the controversy. Mouse is more people are reading and buying Mouse right now than they have in 30 years. And think about it.
That's a possibility, I think.
That's something I have. That's going on.
Yeah. So, but if we had to combine the two for Ace Eddies, because I think if we had to combine the two,
comedy, musical, and drama, you get rid of No Time to Die. So now you're down to 4 in drama.
Okay.
You get rid of. I don't think the editing is all that strong in Belfast. I mean,
I still think it's gonna make it in because
you do okay.
Green Book made it in.
Yeah, I mean, Green Book did win Best Picture though.
True, but then Belfast could also win Best Picture.
Yeah, it could, but I think right now Power of the Dog is the front runner.
Yeah, it is the front runner. I agree.
But if I had to take, obviously you get rid of Cruella, so now you're down to 8. You can't. I mean, Tick Tick Boom has great editing.
It really does.
Licorice Pizza doesn't have the strongest editing, does it?
It's not. It's fine. It's good. It's not like anything.
Now we're down to 7. If we get rid of that, French Dispatch has great editing. I mean, there's a lot going on with French Dispatch. I would say that you got to keep that in there.
I would say I would say Don't Look Up just because of the flashiness of the editing. Even though I don't like the editing. No, I don't like it either. I don't like the editing, but it's flashy and it won the BAFTA. Remember, it won editing for The Big Short, and they got nominated for Vice. So I think Hank Corrin, they like him and they like his style of editing. So I think maybe that could make it in. You take out No Time to Die, it could be Don't Look Up. Or you take out maybe a King Richard as well too, or because I feel like King Richard, people haven't been talking about it as much. It's been kind of muted. Like people kind of forgot about it after it came out. I feel
Cruella.
like
Get rid of Cruella.
Nah, that's not happening. Even though I love Cruella, that's not happening.
So you're saying, okay, we're looking at right now, Don't Look Up, Tick Tick Boom, French Dispatch, Power of the Dog, Dune, and Belfast. So one of them 6 are out.
I think French Dispatch, just because it's going to be hard to see for me to see that get,
even though it's probably one of the best edited films of the year.
Well, again,
this is so much
sadly
weirdness and oddness to it, and how that thing makes sense in all the different contexts of it. All right, so you say French. So you're saying the 5 you think will get into editing
at this point.
Editing will be Belfast, Dune, Power of the Dog, Don't Look Up, Tick Tick Boom. Those 5. Manning's
I
underrated.
think so. However, take out Tick Tick Boom, put in West Side Story. If the Academy's like, no, we do love West Side Story, forget the ACETIs or something. I don't know. That could be the possibility because it just seems really weird that it was able to miss.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But
I just think it's a precursor of saying that maybe people are starting to
you're right.
realize it's not that great a film.
Well, on that note, are you ready for a quick BAFTA preview?
Sure.
Let's do it because it's already 10:10 and Manning's getting really tired. So we're going to go into a quick BAFTA predictions. We're going to go through the list and kind of give our quick thoughts about what we could see. So we're going to start from the bottom, and we're not going to go through everything. We're going to start from the bottom. We're going to work our way up. We're going to skip the shorts. We're going to go to sound. Sound. I think if you want to get the short list up, Dan, on your end as well too. The long list, excuse me. I'm going to give my thoughts.
Not the long list. Okay.
A long list, yes. I have it up. We're not going to go through all the long lists by naming them out. You can go look at it online if you want to. But the long lists are out there and kind of give us some direction about what we could possibly see. Usually they've had sound long before just the Academy decided to make one thing for sound design or whatnot. I think this is going to be like, you're going to have some things like maybe like this might be a Last Night in Soho, a very British film and in contention for best outstanding British film. I think that's going to be able to make it in. I think you're going to have No Time to Die. I think you're going to have Dune. I think you might actually have A Quiet Place Part 2 actually make it in. Look out for that. And then like a Belfast, give or take a Power of the Dog wanting to sneak its way in there, I think. What about for you? Oh, West Side Story or Tick Tick Boom? That's the big thing. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to be able to put in there. Tick Tick Boom or West Side Story? I'm not sure.
You said?
Sound.
Oh, sound. My
Sound.
bad.
I'm
scrolling down the categories or some.
It's at the very bottom usually. Deadline.
I didn't. All right. Yeah, I'm scrolling down. Oh, yeah, sound. Okay, here we go. Sound. I'm telling you, maybe it's because it's British, but I still think you got to give a legit shot to A Quiet Place 2. Because it won sound at the Oscars when it came out, or did it? So you got to keep that as a legit shot. But yeah, you got to put No Time to Die because they're going to try to get that into as many categories as they can. So you take those two.
Yep, 100%.
Probably Belfast, and then because it's the sign language and so forth, probably a Coda. Maybe.
I don't see. I have trouble for Coda. Okay. I have trouble seeing Coda get in because it's not as flashy as some of the other editing. I feel like if any of the less flashy ones, Power of the Dog will be the one to do that. I could be wrong about Coda. I just have a hard time for some reason seeing that,
All right. So Quiet Place 2, Belfast, No Time to Die, that's 3. How many did they get? 6 or 5?
5. I believe for this category it is 5.
Okay. Power of the Dog, so that's 4. God, I don't want to put West Side Story. God, I still think the editing in French Dispatch is phenomenal. I mean, and they don't. Last Night in Soho. Oh,
yes, it's a British film. Yes.
Yeah, Last Night in Soho could be the 5th one, and then you won't be able to look at this category. Oh yeah, there's a disconnect there. If that's the 5, if Quiet Place 2, Belfast, Last Night in Soho, Tick Tick Boom. I mean, not Tick. Power of the Dog and No Time to Die. You can't. There won't be a correlation here. You're not going to be able to predict Oscars based off of that.
Don't forget Dune. I think Dune is Dune's like
great editing.
I think Dune sound is like getting in.
Sound. We're talking about sound. What am I talking about?
Sound. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't help you there.
I got my brain out. We're still talking about the ACETIs. I had sound in my editing in my head. No, sound. Yeah, Dune definitely for sound. Oh, we're talking about sound. So Belfast, Quiet Place 2, Dune, that's 3. Power of the Dog with the comb and the whistling, that's 4.
Yes.
And Last Night in Soho. Oh, No Time to Die.
That's getting in. Like, I think that's one of the safe ones that's going to be getting in personally.
Yeah, that's it. So we're looking at Quiet Place 2, Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, and Power of the Dog, with an outside chance possibly Last Night in Soho.
I think you take out Power of the Dog. Well, no, I don't want to take out actually Power of the Dog. I think Last Night in Soho should get in. I think
Quiet
actually
Place
take out.
2?
I'm gonna take out A Quiet Place Part 2 and put in the Last Night in Soho, because Last Night in Soho is an infinitely more British film than A Quiet Place
Okay.
Part 2.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
what I
Quiet
think.
Place 2 probably has a better shot at the Oscar. At
Yes,
sound
I agree.
than, Last Night. So yeah, that's good. That's a good 5 there. I agree.
That's a
Okay,
5.
what are we looking at? Moving on.
Special. Next one I have for I'm going off a Deadline as well too. Their article. Next I have outside of sound is special visual effects. So my 5 that I currently have for the Oscars, excuse me, for BAFTA. That's the thing. It's like, wait a minute, which one are we talking about? Oh yeah, BAFTA. Now the 5 that I have for BAFTA, actually I'm gonna go to, because there is a nice, maybe it's variety, but it tells you exactly how many films are going to be nominated per respective category. It might be variety, it might be IndieWire. I'm going to check real fast.
I just have a question real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Wonky visuals towards the end of Shang-Chi, is that a good thing or a bad thing for that film?
I don't think it matters at the end of the day, namely because Black Panther won, and the wonky visuals at the last act, that's kind of what happens. But I think
Okay.
Shang-Chi will be able to make it at the very end of the day.
You think that's in there? Okay. And you got to throw in No Time to Die once again, right?
I got No Time to Die, Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, and it is 5 to confirm. I also have I have Last Night in Soho in this one, because I think they're going to do that. And then I have Dune, obviously being able to make it in. And then I'm also probably going to throw in, because remember, there is no Spider-Man No Way Home. It was not eligible for this year.
Suicide Squad?
I think people forgot about Suicide Squad too much. Like,
you don't think that's some crazy?
No, I agree. I think Starro is a really awesome. I just think people forgot about it, sadly. And then I think Matrix.
Yeah.
Yep, I think Matrix. That's the 5. I think it's going to be Dune, Last Night in Soho, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi, and then Matrix.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with you there, my friend. I tend to agree with you there. All right, let's move on to the next one.
That looks like. What are your 5 for this one? For the next one of production design.
All right. Well, you got to put the French Dispatch in here. You got to put the French Dispatch.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's a no-brainer. You got Being the Ricardos is pretty interesting because of all the different kind of the various scenes of them filming the show. Then they're in the back behind the cameras, and then they're all the various kinds of things involving the show and the back lot of CBS. Maybe that is pretty good production design. House of Gucci is pretty good, but one of my favorites of the year. I'm just telling you what my favorites are. The Last Duel. I felt like was
great.
Whatever century France that was taking place in. I just like, you see the chickens and things in the background, the horses, the people walking. Ridley Scott's so good. That was one of my favorite things about Gladiator too. All the different background stuff, things walking in the background and stuff. So I'd say French Dispatch, House of Gucci, Last Duel, Being the Ricardos, and Nightmare Alley. Those are mine. What do you think?
Now, okay, I'm looking at my predictions right now, and it's like they don't have all the other support, some of the other stuff right now, and I'm like, no, I can't look at these right now. What the list is, but for me, you're right. I think this is where the French Dispatch gets in. The French Dispatch gets in here. I think you also have No Time to Die is going to be able to get in here as well too. Tragedy Macbeth, West Side Story. And again, I would love Last Duel if that were to make it, but I think it's going to be Dune. I think that might be the ones.
Dune's is just amazing.
Yeah,
it looks real. It's like looks like that is actually.
They do an excellent job with that. Excellent job.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I mean,
yes.
Nightmare Alley. You can't count out a Guillermo del Toro.
No, of course not. I mean, I just think Nightmare Alley is fault. Well,
he does it all. It's all real. There's no fake, nothing fake. It's all real.
Dune. Okay, Dune, Dune, The French Dispatch, House of Gucci, No Time to Die. Actually, you know what? I think No Time to Die is going to miss this one, and instead we're going to be having Nightmare Alley for the 5 that'll be picked. So I think it's going to be French Dispatch, Dune, Nightmare Alley, Tragedy Macbeth, and then West Side Story. I think production design is going to No Time to Die will not make it into this category, I believe.
Yeah, it's not that great of production design.
Well, I'm merely going off of it because it's the British film. It's James Bond.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it's going to get in a bunch of categories, that is. So,
Yes.
but I think you're right. I don't think this one's in it, but it is going to get in the next category. That's
yes,
almost a no-brainer. Wait, score is the score of No Time to Die one of the best of the year? Are we saying that right now?
I think it's one of the best. Maybe not top 5, but top 10 maybe.
All right. So how many Johnny Greenwood films are we going to get in here?
One.
Power of the Dog, right?
Power of the Dog. Spencer's kind of gone the way of the dodo.
So so we're looking at Power of the Dog, No Time to Die.
Yes.
Then now we've got to look at
Dune
because
100% Dune.
Hans Zimmer, right? That's
3. Oh yeah, it's one of the best.
That's 3. So then you're looking at, what do you think? I'm going to name a couple here. The Green Knight. No,
I don't think so. Not with some of the misses that it had. I can see Don't Look Up making it. That's also really good jazzy score.
That's Nicholas Bertel.
Yeah, they like Bertel.
So that's 4. That'll make 4. If you go with Dune, Don't Look Up, No Time to Die, Power of the Dog. What are we looking at for our 5th? Harder They Fall, King Richard, Last Daughter. Please not The Last Daughter. Please not.
I think you might actually get. Maybe you'll get.
Oh, French Dispatch. Shoot, I forgot. Dispatch.
I was about to say you might get French Dispatch in this one. I can see them going French Dispatch in this. Honestly, truly.
So Gone with the Wind is going with Don't Look Up, Dune, French Dispatch, No Time to Die, and The Power of the Dog.
That's what Manning's going with. What is Dan going with is the question.
No, that's the power. That's Gone with the Wind. We're a consensus right now, you and I. We don't have.
Are we being a consensus about this? Okay,
yes.
Well, all right then.
These categories, and we are creating a consensus for Gone with the Wind. So people can point to us. You guys were wrong. That's fine.
Well,
point us out if we're wrong in the comments. Come whenever. Come
fair
Tuesday or whatever we're gonna do the next.
Come Thursday morning when it comes out.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to you're up or am I up for hair and makeup?
I'll go this one for these 5 that'll be nominated. For makeup and hair, I think this is Coming to America. The makeup in that one is something that's kind of out of nowhere. There's always one that's kind of like, wait, that got in?
But it's brilliant.
Yes, but still, that got in. I think it's Coming to America. I think it's Cruella. I think it's Dune. Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci.
Yeah, I would have to say I agree. Even though I will say in the last duel we got Mullet Boy and Blondie.
Mullet
Boy and Blondie. Wonderful hair. Now I would not walk out of my house with any of that hair from the last.
No,
duel.
Please don't.
And I don't have the best hair to begin with, but I still wouldn't walk out of my house with that hair from those.
Good to know.
Boy. You gotta laugh at that. Mullet Boy and Blondie. From now on, we would describe the last two. We're talking about Mullet Boy and Blondie.
Mullet Boy and Blondie. We'd love to see it. But that is our.
Those are the 5.
You agree?
I 100% agree. I think if you have a outside chance. Maybe a Last Night in Soho here.
Oh yeah, that is good makeup and hair. That's actually a good point considering
2 time periods, and they got the 60s time period hair and makeup and whatever, and then we got the present day hair and makeup and stuff. So it's kind of we're doing 2 different things there. But yeah, House of Gucci, Tammy Faye, Cruella, Coming to America, and Dune. That's the consensus for Gone with the Wind on that one. Editing, we just kind of talked about editing. So we're not going to really get into this too crazy. We kind of narrowed it down last time. So let's go with the narrow down things here. What did we narrow it down to?
I think Actually, you tell me because I did makeup and hair.
Would we narrow it down to No Time to Die, right?
Yes.
No, did we kick? No, we did keep Belfast. Don't look
I
up.
think we kept Belfast and Don't Look Up. I
kept
think we keep
Belfast
that.
and we kept Don't Look Up, right?
Yes.
We kept Dune, so that's 3.
Yes.
And then we kept No Time to Die, so that's 4. Didn't we?
We did.
And
And then
Power
I
of the
think,
Dog.
and
Did
then
we
you have
keep
Power
that?
of the Dog.
Were those the 5 we kept?
Are those the 5 that I think are making it in for BAFTA? But don't forget also too, like I think that is your strongest 5, save for Tick Tick Boom or West Side Story, possibly making it in as well. Or a musical, but I don't know which one of those to go for because I think Tick Tick Boom has the better editing. West Side Story is technically the bigger movie that may have Spielberg get in, picture, etc.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's right. Nope, you hit the nail. So
I'd love if Summer of Soul could make it in. That'd be really great.
That'd be crazy.
Great editing.
That's a great documentary, but we'll get into that
is.
one time. But costume design, we're back to it again. Dune, Cruella, Gucci,
Oof. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Power of the Dog.
No, I think this might be where
Nightmare Alley. No,
this is hard. This is difficult. Maybe this is another Last Night in Soho because remember, costumes are very pivotal in that film.
She's in fashion school. That's right. She's in fashion school, and we're dealing with 2 time periods, the 60s and present. So, Gucci, Last Night in Soho, Cruella, Dune. I would say 2 that you could look at here maybe is Cyrano and Being the Ricardos. Which one of those 2 you think has a better shot? Or you have something else like Danny Kaye or something?
No, you could actually have the Electrical Life of Louis Wan. I say that only because I'm looking back now. It's currently made it in a couple of other places like makeup and hairstyling. It's made it in original score. It's made it in production design. So it's definitely made it a couple places. And I thought if they're going to give it anything, like costume design seems like a very period thing for them to do. Just a thought.
And just to throw one out there, French Dispatch has all kinds of weird It has prison costumes. It has suits. It has period costumes. It had dresses. It has a whole myriad of costumes in the French Dispatch. So this might be like, wow, look at this person. Look at the hundreds of different kinds of costumes that they did for the French. Well, let's give that a costume. I don't even know who the French Dispatch costume person is.
I don't know either, but they did a good job.
What are our consensus here? Cruella, Dune.
Yes.
Gucci,
it's basically Cruella and whoever else wants to jump in.
Cruella, Dune, Soho, Gucci, and we got to pick one other. Nightmare Alley, Dispatch, Cyrano, Being the Ricardos. Any of those? Anything?
I think maybe the Electrical Life of Louis Wan because of the periodness. But if we don't feel comfortable.
No.
I don't know. I have this weird feeling in my gut. It's gonna make it somewhere. Maybe not this one, but somewhere. Maybe you're right. Maybe this is where Spencer gets in. Maybe they go default and go to West Side Story.
Oh yeah, and that's part of it. That's not even a narrative in the movie.
That's true. Although
he's got to wear on a specific day, lunch, breakfast, dinner. And she for lack of a better word, bitches about it.
Well. I would say I would do the term that I would use more along the lines would be she feels it's the constricted nature that she is there with it. She feels constricted.
Yeah,
but
Spencer makes a lot of sense there. You're right. But
the movie hasn't done that well with the nomination tally. That's the thing that concerns me. It's not looking that beloved.
Overseas, it might have a better shot at something.
Maybe, but even if it didn't do great on the long list, it missed out on some key ones you might think. I don't know.
Want to go with West Side Story then?
It's a good default, but let's go with the default of West Side Story. And if Spencer gets in, I'll be like, oh well, I guess I thought too hard on it.
So we go West Side Story, Soho, Gucci, Dune, Cruella. Those are our 5 for costume design. All right, let's cinematography. All right, your turn.
All right. So this is what I think. I think this is going to be kind of similar to the ASC, give or take a couple of other ones. I think you're going to have Belfast. You're going to have Dune. You're going to have Nightmare Alley. You're going to have The Power of the Dog, and you're going to have The Tragedy of Macbeth. I think you're going to get the 5 from the ACE. I think that's what's going to happen. And then again, West Side Story could make it in, but I think that's gonna be the ones. And again, No Time to Die could also make it in as well too, because it's Bond. But I think you're gonna get the 5 for the
that's 5. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head with those 5. I mean, if they decide to kick out one, I think it's Belfast, and maybe put in like a Come On. Even though it's not a lot of nomination, it's not going to be nominated in a lot of places. I think if you look at the cinematography, I think it's better than Belfast. That's just my 2 cents.
I agree.
I think I went on a rampage about this somewhere.
You did,
casting, yes. Casting. Could we please, Oscar people, put this as a category?
Yes.
Damn.
Why
Oscar.
does we not have this?
God, this should be a category. Casting. All right. I'll tell you what. I mean, you got to put one of these British films in there, I would imagine, right?
Of course, just one,
So you got to go. Would you go with After? I don't even know who's in After Love.
I've heard good things about it.
Because Stephen, and look, at Boiling Point, you got to go off the main actor when you talk about casting. Is Stephen Graham a freaking, is he cloning Gordon Ramsay in this movie?
I don't know.
I haven't seen the movie, but everybody who has is like, oh my God, it's Gordon Ramsay. He's amazing as a clone of Gordon Ramsay. So maybe Boiling Point, right? No?
Yeah, I think it's one of the British ones. Let's go with Boiling Point. I think Boiling Point's a nice, solid one to people to go for. I say we go for Boiling Point, Coda, because of the SAG ensemble nomination that it got, Belfast, because another one. I think those are nice ones to be able to have.
Don't Look Up because of the massiveness of the cast.
Don't Look Up because of the massiveness of the cast. And then I think you're going to have, I think this is going to be you're going to have
Power of the Dog because of the British.
No, you might have House of Gucci.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
I think you might have House of Gucci.
Oh, yeah. You're right. With the outlier being Power of the Dog.
With the outlier being Power of the Dog, or Dune. This could be the time for war Dune for the casting.
Yeah, it's a huge cast. Dune has a huge, huge cast. It's got Brits, it's got Spaniards, it's got people from all countries. Well, all kinds of people from all kinds of different countries in Dune too.
Well, round 2 is voted on by a jury. So the jury may or may not decide to go for something as big as Don't Look Up and instead go for something else, because it's a lot of just kind of big name brands. So maybe they don't go for Don't Look Up. You know what? I'm going to call it now. They're not going to go for Don't Look Up. They're going to go for something like Dune instead. I'm calling it.
All right. So
you heard it here first.
Boiling Point, Coda, Dune,
House of Gucci,
Power of the Dog,
Belfast. I think Belfast is going to be just because it's a lot more British than The Power of the Dog.
Belfast, Boiling Point, Coda, Dune, and House of Gucci. That's the consensus on Gone with the Wind.
I do think I'll watch Don't Look Up make it in, and I'll be like, well, there goes my hunch.
It makes sense that one of these massive casts, I keep saying this, I'm like a broken record, that would get into some of this, like ensemble, and one did. Don't Look Up got into
agreed
casting. So you got to pick. They're not just going to go with the little cast everything, will they? Because look at the massiveness of these. How many people? That's how you got to give credit to the casting director for something like that, right?
Agreed. No, I agree with that. I agree.
With supporting actor. All right, so let's see here. Okay, we're going to get to the Belfast boys. We're not going to get to it just yet. Supporting actor. No brainer. One of the 2 is Cody Smith-McPhee. That's
yep. Getting
one of the 2 is Cody Smith-McPhee. And then you got to say Troy Kotsur is probably the second. right? Then you say the
Yes.
group has got to vote on the rest. The vote.
Yes, I think the top two are right.
Do they go with both Belfast boys, one Belfast boy, or no Belfast boys? One of them's getting in for this, right? And more than likely two.
I do not think that both Belfast boys are getting in. I think Hines is the one because of his name, because of like the actual recognition behind his work he's had in the past. I think Leto is getting in mainly because I think the train cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped.
Crazy. That's crazy. Now I want to throw one out that I think is it's like the weirdest thing possible, but he's a Brit, and I think they're going to want to get another Brit in here, and I'm going to go with Mark Rylance for Don't Look Up. What do you think?
What? No. I refuse to nominate him.
Off the wall thing. Manning, that's off the wall. And it might be something that's supporting. Yeah, I'll throw a Brit in there for support. This ain't gonna correlate to an Oscar. This ain't gonna correlate.
But it's still recognition for a not great performance. No.
Rob Sylvester Stallone. But no, you don't think so. Who are you? J.K. Simmons?
No, I don't think I think Cooper. I think Bradley Cooper is going to make it in mainly because I think that SAG kind of showed me that, they like Cooper a lot. And if they don't go for him in lead, they're going to be like, we'll go for him in supporting instead. I think that's a strong possibility that's going to transpire.
All right. So we're looking at Cody Smith-McPhee, Bradley Cooper, Ciarán Hinds, Troy Kotsur, and Jared Leto. That's the consensus for Gone with the Wind right now.
But remember, BAFTA is 6.
Oh, it's 6. So we got to pick somebody else. You want to pick the weirdo? Want to go with Rylance?
Let's go with Rylance. Let's go with Rylance.
We want to go with both Belfast boys.
I am submitting in protest, but we're going. You think Mike Feist has a chance?
I don't think so. I think the ship for Mike Feist has passed. I just think
probably
people know the name. They don't know him until he does some more stuff. I just think he's.
What about Jesse Plemons?
I would love to see that. I mean, I would love to see that. We can go with it. We'll get rid of Rylance.
Let's go with Jesse. Let's go with Jesse Plemons. I think we can go with Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons, Cody Smith-McPhee, Jared Leto, Troy Kotsur, Ciarán Hinds, and Bradley Cooper. What a group.
Perfect.
Okay. Best supporting actress. What do you got for me?
All right. This is what I have. Ariana DeBose. We have that. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Kristen Dunst.
Oh, yeah. Got that.
Katrina Balfe. It's BAFTA.
Yeah. Yep.
Ruth Negga. It's BAFTA. She's British or Irish.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay. Now, here's where it gets a little bit twisty. Are you ready?
Yep.
Catherine Hunter for The Tragedy of Macbeth. When I say that,
it's a legit shot.
I think it's a shot.
I will say, do not count out Anya Taylor-Joy.
Is she nominated in the long list? She is. Wow, I totally forgot about that. She is in the long list. I think there is a strong possibility she could get in it. You're right. I just think because it's Catherine Hunter, who is apparently a very famous stage British actress, this would not shock me if she made it in.
No, not at all. And I think she deserves it. She's fantastic in that movie. I mean, Denzel Washington is incredible, but I mean, in a very small role, Catherine Hunter is fantastic. There's no doubt about it. So you're looking at. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna basically add, do we think Ellis makes it in?
I think here, the SAG here in SAG. Now that she didn't get in SAG, I think there's a correlation there. But I still think she's got a much better shot at the Oscar because of the diversity of the voting
the voting body in comparison to SAG, which is a lot more populist.
Yepper. So
that's true.
That's something you gotta consider for the voting base with Oscar compared to SAG and BAFTA.
Okay.
So, but we don't want that to be she didn't get in there. She didn't get in there. Oh, maybe we shouldn't put her in here. We don't want that. do we?
Do we think that Jessie Buckley is going to make it in? Because remember, she made it into BAFTA before for a movie called like Wild Rose or something.
Yeah,
maybe
she was
Wild
phenomenal
Rose.
in that. I mean, phenomenal.
Yeah.
She's not that. She's okay in this.
I
don't
agree.
like
She's fine.
anybody in that movie, to be honest with you. But don't
You
get me
don't.
started about that. So who do you got? What do we got? Balf.
Balf, DeBose, Dunst,
Nega, Hunter, and who we go with? We're gonna go with Andy
Ellis?
Taylor-Joy, or we're gonna go with somebody else.
I think we could stick with Ellis, Ingenue Ellis, just because
Alright.
based upon like although I could be wrong. Maybe it's Judi Dench. Maybe this goes Judi Dench.
No Blanchett.
Not for Don't Look Up. No, there's no way that she's getting it for Don't Look Up.
Right? Judi Dench could be a good. Judi Dench could be a good one. There, you're right.
Maybe it's and out, and we're gonna be happy.
If Judi Dench gets in, Belfast is gonna do really, really well at the BAFTAs if Dench gets in.
What if we just go with Dench? We want to just go with Dench to see why not. Why not? Well, we'll make Judi Dench. Why not? Because she's Judi Dench. She's Dame Dench. Dench. We know.
8-minute Oscar winner. Okay, lead actor. Will Smith. Where the hell is he? There he is. We're getting jiggy with you, Will.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
We're getting jiggy with you. All right, so Denzel.
Yes, I think this is his time.
Andrew Garfield, a Brit.
Yep.
No Daniel Craig, but Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch. Let's go with. I strongly think Peter Dinklage should be in here, but tell me reason who else should be and why Peter Dinklage shouldn't be.
I think Stephen Graham's going to make it in.
Boiling point. Perfect.
Because there's always at least a British, well, not always. Let me rephrase that.
Also, so we can get Peter and Stephen Graham. So there you go. There's a 6 right there.
That's what I think. That's what I think personally. Yep, that's what I have for my 6 right now.
All right, so we got. We just.
Although does Bardem make it in?
No, I don't.
No.
So. I mean, I don't
all right. You said that with such confidence.
I don't think he's good. I think it's just the love of Ricardo being the Ricardos with the set.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's why. So we're looking at Cumberbatch, Dinklage, Garfield, Graham, Smith, and Washington. That's a consensus with us.
I think Washington has his first BAFTA nomination in the bag, personally.
Yeah. I think he should. That's the right project for him to get it. I think.
If he doesn't get it now, he's never getting it, and I'm really questioning BAFTA.
Yeah. No, you're right. All right, so let's go leading actress. It's your turn.
All right. Okay, so Nicole Kidman, she's making it in. Okay. I think this is going to be Lady Gaga is going to make it in again as well, because I think they really liked Gucci. I think Coleman's going to make it in because they really liked the Lost Daughter and everything that they had. I know Dan didn't, but they loved it in the not long list. Okay, now we're going to get interesting because I don't think anyone else. I'm not confident on anyone else.
Not Chastain?
I'm still not confident on Chastain.
Because it's
for BAFTA.
Because it's not an American character. I mean, it's American character, not a British character. Just saying somebody more liking to a British character like Kristen Stewart for Spencer. Come on, Manning. Pull the trigger.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
If she misses BAFTA, she's not getting the Oscar. She's not getting in the Oscars.
But you gotta say
go. Yes, right. Let's go for it because I think this will be Spencer's one singular nomination. Personally,
who would be our sixth here? So we got call these out again.
Okay, so we got Kidman, we got Coleman, we got Gaga, we got Kristen, and we have
Renee Renzois, worst person in the world. I'm telling you, I think
you're right. I think Renee Renzois, she's gonna make it in. She's definitely gonna make it in. I think so.
That's 5. Do we go
because
with
she's the only
film person? Ali and Ava, Claire Rushbrook. I don't know who the hell that is. After Love, Joanna Scanlon. Anybody? Tessa Thompson, Passing.
Do we have an extra 6 spot to give?
Yeah, we have 6. So we got, you said Coleman, Gaga, Kidman, Renate Renzois,
Yeah.
and Stewart. That's 5.
Okay. I think that this again, I don't know much about Ali and Ava or After Love. I need to watch them. I have not. I need to see that. Joanna Scanlon. Let's go with Joanna Scanlon, I would say.
You're gonna go with one of the Brits for the British film.
Yes.
All right.
I think so. I think you're going to have at least one of them represent in their categories, respectively. Although it'd be great if Tessa Thompson and Passing could make it in. I'd love that.
That'd be brilliant. That would be brilliant.
It would be amazing. Right. Deserving.
All right, let's go to adapted screenplay. We'll try to get these quicker here.
Yes. Go through quickly. All right. Hit me. What you got?
I got Power of the Dog.
Yep.
Passing.
Ooh.
Dune, Drive My Car, and Coda.
No Tragedy of Macbeth.
Are there 6 or 5 in this?
5 in this one, sadly.
All right. We'll get rid of Coda and put Tragedy of Macbeth in there.
Well, see, I think Coda's making it in.
I think Passing. I know you kind of.
I don't want to get rid of Passing though.
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of Passing.
You have to put Dune. I think Drive My Car. You got to give this guy a shot.
You think Drive My Car is making it in?
Probably not.
You think so?
All right, so
no, you're right. I think Drive My Car has a good shot. I think this is where it's going to start. I think Drive My Car is making it in. You're right. I think Drive My Car will make it in.
Coda, Drive My Car, Dune. That's 3. Passing 4. Macbeth is 5. That's the 5 for adapted. Unless you can see anybody else getting in here.
So wait, you have Drive My Car, Lost Daughter, Coda, Power of the Dog. What was the 5th one again? I missed.
I didn't say The Lost Daughter.
You don't think The Lost Daughter is making it in? Oh, see.
So I had Coda, Drive My Car, Dune.
Okay.
Passing, Tragedy, Macbeth.
I think The Lost Daughter is making it over Passing.
Whoa. We're screwed here. My math is okay. Tragedy, Macbeth, Dune. Okay, Tragedy, Macbeth, Power of the Dog, Passing. That's 3. Dune, Coda, Drive My Car. That's already 6. So we're gonna kick one of them 6 out already.
Okay, so I think it's Power of the Dog, Coda, Lost Daughter, Drive My Car, and Dune. That's what I think it's going to be. I say The Lost Daughter mainly because it appeared in picture, it appeared in director, it appeared in these long lists. They like The Lost Daughter, even if it's not. I don't.
No Macbeth. So that's the one you're kicking out, and you're also kicking out. No Dune.
I think Dune's making it in. I think so. I would think Dune makes it in just because it's a well thought of adaptation. So, in my opinion.
So say those again, real quick, and then we'll move
I
on.
think it's Power of the Dog, Coda, Lost Daughter, Drive My Car, and Dune. I wish Passing could make it in, but
okay, Passing's on the outs looking in. Okay, and Tragedy Macbeth is probably on the outs looking in as well. So, all right, let's move on to.
Hold on, wait.
Abe? You got Abe in his car? Drive My Car? You got Abe driving my car? His car, I mean?
Hello.
Did you just get off of work, Abe?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can.
Yes. Yes, I'm driving.
Wow.
What?
Can you hear yourself?
Nah, we can't hear you.
What? I can't hear you.
What? I can't hear you. I'm not going to put my mic closer because the police are going to see my phone.
We cannot hear you that well, Abe.
No?
Thanks for jumping in for a minute, Abe. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
Here, what you can do.
Bye.
Okay, but wait, what you can do, Abe, you can just kind of put it up to your like you're speaking on the phone, right up next to you, and just take off your sound or take off your picture.
Oh, I'm driving, Manny. Okay,
well, like you're driving.
Don't get arrested.
Don't do anything. Okay, just don't do anything ridiculous.
All right. Do you want to just listen to what we're talking about? What is he saying? I'm sorry.
What was that? What was that, Abe?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
there we
The
go.
police here. Fuck. Why is it?
Do
All right.
not
Okay,
get
continue now,
arrested.
guys. I'm
Okay.
stuck.
Okay. Anyway, Dan, go ahead.
All right. So we got that. We got adapted screenplay out. Now we're
Yes.
on the original screenplay. Let's see if we can do this a little bit quicker here.
Yes, let's do it.
I'm looking at Being the Ricardos, Belfast.
Mm-hmm.
King Richard. Wow, there's a lot of foreign films in here.
I know.
After Love, one of the Brits.
I think so. I think that seems like one that's gonna make it. Licorice Pizza though.
Yeah, look, that's a 5. That's right there. Okay, Licorice Pizza, King Richard, Belfast, Being Ricardo's, After Love. Boom, there's your 5 right there.
Don't Look Up. What about Don't Look Up?
I don't think you're going to look at that in script. I think that
don't think
is.
so?
I would say 6th. I would put Don't Look Up as the 6th because of Adam McKay. You can't count Adam McKay out.
I would love it if he would miss. No offense, I'd love it.
Yeah. Let's put him at 6 and as like a potential to get in over one of these other ones. We
Let's
got
do
our
it
5 with the 6th as an honorable mention possibly because it's
perfect.
You can't not think about Adam McKay in
absolutely not.
All right, so this is pretty much we're going to go with the DGA 5 here. So we're looking at a director.
I'm not going with the DGA 5. Remember, it's 6.
Oh, it's 6. Okay, so we're still looking at Belfast, correct? Dune. Belfast, Dune. Kenneth Branagh, Denis Villeneuve. No.
Yes, we are going with Dune. Campion, Dune, Branagh, Hamaguchi. I think this is where Hamaguchi. Yes.
We got 5 already then.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I have Campion, Belfast,
Dune,
or Campion. Yeah, Drive My Car, Hamaguchi, Licorice Pizza. I think Licorice Pizza.
No, not here.
I'm not here. I don't think here.
Okay. All right.
I think something like we're gonna remember the director's branch is very out there. Remember, only 2 movies ultimately made it in from last year that were even close, and that was Lee Isaac Chung's Minari and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. Everyone else.
Who are we looking at? What were we looking at? Spielberg and Cohen?
I think Spielberg misses.
Okay, Spielberg misses here. Okay.
Yes. And I think you have After Love or something along those lines make it in. Something very out of left field.
Or possibly passing because Hall's British.
I mean, that'd be great, but I just don't think it's gonna do. I just don't think it's gonna do. Passing's gonna do great. Sadly, I'd love it if she made it in, but I just don't think. I don't know.
Sean Hayter.
Sean Hayter would actually be a great choice. Honestly, I don't know if that's gonna transpire though.
Florentino. In Italian. No.
Maybe last year we had 2 foreign language films. Also, Movie Man 82 says Don't Look Up got a WGA nomination. It did in reference to as the screenplay.
We had it at
again
6, don't. It's not like we completely discounted it. We had it at 6.
Correct. I would say don't. I'm going to be holding my breath, hoping it doesn't happen.
So what are we looking at here? Are we looking at Belfast, Drive My Car, Dune? It's 3. Power of the Dog.
What do you think the last one?
Huh?
What do you think? We have 5. What is the 6? I don't know what the 6 because I feel it's gonna be left field. You know?
Yeah. They have Zola? That is the weirdest choice.
See, look at the nominations. They are very out of left field.
Yeah. You want to pick are we giving a lot of love here to After Love? No pun intended.
True. I just meaning
we know they're going to go with these 2 films in a lot of categories, right? So we gotta.
I'd go with Boiling Point and director, but Boiling Point's not in director for some reason.
Nope, only After Love is. In First Cow, I guess it didn't come out in Britain, so that's why it's on the list now.
Yeah, correct.
So,
I think maybe Sorrentino. Like, I feel like we need 2 or foreign language films in here. I don't know, because remember last year we had 2 with Q Vitus Aida, and then what was the other one? Vinterberg.
Yeah, well, Thomas. Oh God, I love that movie. God, did I love that movie? So Belfast, Drive My Car, Dune, Power of the Dog, Hand of God.
Yep.
And no Licorice Pizza, no King Richard, no Last Daughter, no Passing.
It's yes. It's out of left field, but I think the director's
Petite
branch.
Mama? No.
I forgot about Petite Mama.
That's been in a couple categories. It's a French film. You got to pick a sixth. No Coen, no Spielberg, no PTA. None of them 3 make it in here.
If you want, I mean, here you pick on this last one. Who do you think is going to make it in as the last one?
Because it's a British property. It's Shakespeare. I'm going with Coen for tragedy.
Okay. Is that with taking out After Love, Hand of God? What do you think?
Hand of God's out.
Okay. And then that means that Coen is in.
Coen's in.
Boom.
So we're looking at After Love, Belfast, Drive My Car, Dune, Power of the Dog, and Tragedy, Macbeth. Those are our 6. That's our consensus.
Yes, that's what I think to be the case.
And then we'll say Hand of God is our 6 because you always have to have that
7.
7. Oh wait, yeah. In this category, it's 7.
Yeah, it's
let's
weird.
Move on to animated. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 here. Get out. Kick. Ron's gone wrong. You're wrong, Ron. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Over the pond, I think you can think of Flea. I think you can go Encanto, Flea, Luca, Mitchell's, Raya.
I think it's only 4 for this one. It's weird.
Shit. Oh, okay.
I know, right?
Encanto, Flea, Luca, Mitchell's.
Yep, that's what I think.
Those 4.
That's what I think precisely.
Pond, you gotta put Flea in there.
And if Flea misses, then I'll be suspicious. Yes, yeah. I agree.
Okay, so those 4: Encanto, Flea, Luca, Mitchell's. They're in. All right, so we're looking at documentary. Oh God, this is gonna be.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
This is all you, but make sure you put the rescue in there.
I see. I know. I agree. Rescue is making it in. Then Summer of Soul. I think you're also going to get Flea in there as well. I think you're going to get something like Velvet Underground. I feel like that because that would be able to get in, and then
Sparks,
something.
Maybe. No.
I think you're going to. Well,
Sparks is what's his face?
Yeah, Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
I think you're going to have. I'm going to go left field because the fact that this managed to make it in here and managed to make it in the shortlist for Academy Awards. Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry. Yep. Why did that make it both? I don't know.
I actually voted for that in my critics group.
I need to watch this movie.
Documentary. It's good. Oh my God, you'd be shocked at the drama and the stuff that goes on in her life as a young woman building her career. I mean, she's got physical ailments. She's got. I didn't know any of this stuff. She forgets the words of a song on stage with 80,000 people in front of her. I mean, it's very, you're like, whoa, it's.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's not just it's Billie Eilish singing songs. And no, it's got some stuff. Wow. And this is before kind of in her rise to fame. She got huge while making the documentary. But you see her, the struggles she had.
Yeah.
Becoming who she became. Now it's Billie Eilish, one of the greats of all time.
Yeah.
There's a thing about the Bond song in there. You hit the nail. I think you got to put that in there, especially because of the angle of the Bond song.
I agree. I think we're going to be shocked to find that come nomination day.
So Billie Eilish, Flea, Rescue, Summer of Soul. How many do we get?
Velvet Underground. We got 5.
All right, those are the 5 then. That's
5.
Right there. You just nailed it. That's our 5. All right, so let's go to.
We have a international.
Want to skip this and do this this weekend or no? All right, that's how we do it now. What the hell? Forget it.
Yeah.
We'll just do it. Okay. I'll do this one. Drive My Car, Flee, Hand to God. Worst Person in the World. How many are we getting this? 5?
5 as well, yes.
Detain. Those are the 5.
Okay, well, that is.
But the 6th being a potential compartment number 6, no pun intended.
Okay, I think as a 6, that's perfect. So just to clarify, you had a hero, you had Flee, Drive My Car.
Oh wait,
Worst Person in the World.
Worst Person in the World. Yeah, Worst Person in the World. Hand to God, Flee, Drive My Car,
Hand to God.
A hero, with the 6th possibly being
okay
compartment number 6. But we have a 7 too, because wait, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm gonna say that's 6.
5. 5, yeah, 5. Detain would be 7 if that would be a 7. Yeah, so
that could make it in. I just the fact that it may have missed the short list. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
So a hero, Drive My Car, Flee, Worst Person in the World, and did we say Hand to God?
Maybe Parallel. I think Hand to God, maybe Parallel Mothers as well.
Well, I don't like the idea because what do we look? Did Cruz and Almodovar make any of these lists?
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. That probably made it into good call.
So Worst Person in the World, Hand to God, Flee, Drive My Car, a hero.
Lovely.
Compartment number 6 is our 6th.
Yes.
If something doesn't make it. Outstanding debut British writer, director, or producer. Oh God. Want to skip this one, or do you want to do this? I don't know.
Okay, I will say 5 will be nominated out of these 10. I think you're gonna get. This is where Passing will get a nomination. Rebecca Hall.
After Love.
After Passing, After Love, The Harder They Fall, Boiling Point, and I don't know the rest of these.
No, me neither. Me neither, man.
let's after these 4. Let's go with Censor. I've heard of that before. It's a horror film, I believe.
Okay. All right.
So let's go with that one because they did. Remember last year they nominated His House, which I was impressed by that.
Outstanding British film. All right, Britt, this is your turn. Go for it.
Okay. So this is the one that I think top 5 films out of these 20. You're gonna have Belfast, of course. You're gonna have After Love. I think you're gonna have the Boiling Point. I think you're gonna have House of Gucci, and then No Time to Die.
Yeah. And with the potential for 6th and 7th, I think would be Passing and Spencer.
I think Passing is a solid 6 right now, and I'd love it if it would make it in. If it did make it in, I think you have to take out Gucci, which I would be okay with.
Okay, yeah, that's great. All right, so best film. All right, here we go with this one.
Last 5.
This is the last one. This is just going to be me, and then you say whether you agree or disagree, and then who would you put in its place? All right,
let's do it.
All right, Belfast. House
Yes.
of Gucci.
No.
Okay. No Time to Die.
No.
Okay. Power of the Dog. So we got Belfast, Power of the Dog. That's 2. Okay, we're at the two mark. King Richard.
No.
Okay, so we'll get rid of that. Tragedy Macbeth.
Maybe. I don't know. This is so difficult.
We still have 2 right now. Licorice Pizza.
I guess maybe this is really difficult because it's hard to, because like there are so many options that you could go for, you know.
Dune.
I think Dune makes it in. I think Power of the Dog, Dune, and Belfast are the 3. They're like, yes, they're gonna make it, but I don't know if the other 2 are gonna be.
Okay, we got those 3. Oh, what do you think about a Coda? A potential Coda.
That could be a nice 4, a nice solid feel good film that's like a 4.
Okay, so now we're gonna come up with what? 2 more or 1 more?
1 more.
1 more. Only,
what do you think?
I mean, Best Picture. That's it.
5. I know, right?
6 in other categories, but 5 in Best Picture. What the hell?
Doesn't make any sense. BAFTA's strange like that.
So what are we doing here? We got Belfast, Coda, Dune, Power of the Dog. There's 4. What's our 5th? Tragedy Macbeth, French Dispatch, No Time to Die. What are we looking at here?
What do you think? Because I think we have a solid. Do we have Don't Look Up coming in, being the big quote unquote film? Do we have Being the Ricardos, being the sweeping with Nicole Kidman, Tragedy Macbeth because of the Shakespeare of it all, or one of the musicals like Tick Tick Boom or West Side Story?
I think Being the Ricardos is an American film. I think it's about American people. It's about American film industry. I don't think the Brits are going to go for that as much. Don't Look Up because of the massiveness of the cast, but you already got a massiveness cast with Dune, but there are a lot of big name people, and even Britain can relate to the story of Don't Look Up because they went through it maybe even harder than what we would. I mean, it's apples and oranges. I don't know their countries and our country, but we all kind of went through it together. So maybe they can relate to Don't Look Up just like we could.
This is true.
So Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Dune, Power of the Dog. With the West Side Story on the outside looking in.
Okay. You said Belfast, Power of the Dog, Dune, Coda, and what was the other one?
Don't Look Up.
It could be also Licorice Pizza. I know it's very American too, but it's been. I said maybe. I don't know because Licorice Pizza feels like it could go any which way.
I know,
with BAFTA.
You're counting Licorice Pizza out in other categories like Best Director and some of these writing.
No writing. I think it's in.
We kept it in, right? But other categories. So if you're going to count it out in other categories, why would you count it in here?
Well, I think I'm only counting it out in director because director is so weird. Director, they want to, because it's a whole separate, remember, they're all separate not groups and committees. And if they're anything like last year, director is going to be strange. It's going to be the strangest category. So that's why I go out of left field for that one.
So you're saying, who do you take out? Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Dune, or Power of the Dog if you put Licorice Pizza in?
You know what? Just because I don't want to see it in, let's take out Don't Look Up.
All right. So our consensus for Gone with the Wind is this: Belfast, Coda, Dune, Licorice Pizza, and Power of the Dog. We will find out this week how wrong we are, or God knows how right we are on any of these categories this Thursday. It's been a marathon tonight. Manning is an absolute champion.
Not to fall asleep.
I applaud you. Manning, for
thank you.
You know, I because if you didn't stick it out, I'd be talking by myself here. So plus you have to start and stop this thing. So, but we kind of, I kept you going a little bit here. We kind of.
You kept me going. We managed to make it through. And with that, we're going to wrap up because Manning's going to go to sleep. So, Dan, where can the people find you?
You can always find me at disappointmentmedia.com, where I write about all kinds of things. Just did my Slam Dance and Sundance recaps, capsule reviews. I'm doing anniversaries. We got a special Criterion Voyages section. I'm writing. I just did a Moonfall review coming up. Also, my own blog, where whenever I don't write for Disappointment Media, I write on my own blog. But if you want to just stalk me on social media, you can go to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest and see my name, Dan Skipbound or DP Skipbound or From the Fourth Row. Or I gotta get these things in order. I gotta figure a way to get these in order. You got one thing, and everybody can find you under that one thing, man. I gotta start doing that for mine.
Just one thing. You can find me at Twitter at Cine_Man. That's CINE_MANN, as well as here hosting Gone with the Wind on Take 3 Productions, as well as reviewing films for WFMY News 2 on our YouTube page. Go there, go watch us online, etc., etc.
Give me them links. I want to watch.
I will. Once I fall asleep and I'll wake up in the morning and then I'll do this again because I got to go cover the fertilizer fire probably again tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys on Thursday when we find out the nominations for BAFTA, part 1 kind of this craziness.
Are we going to be wrong or are we going to be right?
I think we're going to be right and wrong at the same time because that's how it is. Good night, everyone.